And we are live. We want the gold, sucker. We want the gold, sucker. And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of the IRWP It's Real Wrestling Podcast. I'm your boy, Ben Goosen. What up, Sage and Mark?
What up, Ben Goosen?
Yeah, you should have let that note roll.
I should, man.
Show's an hour, give or take. You should have let it roll for 5 minutes. Easily let it roll for 45
Eagles
minutes.
Fly on the road to victory. Set fight. Eagles fly. Score a touchdown. 1, 2, 3. Hit them high, hit them low, and watch them Eagles fly, fly, fly. Fly, Eagles fly on the road. Victory. EAGLES. Eagles. That's for my boy Dale Radis, baby. There you go.
Yo, we're coming at you. So we have to, even though we're a wrestling show, wrestling podcast, we got to come at you with, how was the Super Bowl for you, Sage? Tell me about your day on Sunday.
Let's see.
Wait a minute. Oh, hell yeah. That's what I had to give for the chat. If y'all watch live in the chat, he said if you're truly live, because people are trying to troll us thinking we ain't live, give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah. So all right, let's get into the Eagles. So tell me how your Sunday went.
It was pretty good, man. I got as you already know, I cut the cable. So I was a little worried about being able to watch the Super Bowl on Sunday. I got on Sling and thought that maybe it would be on the NBC Sports Network, and unfortunately, to my surprise, it wasn't. I was thinking about doing the whole Cody route, but lo and behold, I found out that it was sponsored by Xbox, so Xbox actually streamed it completely live on the Xbox One, which I thought was pretty nice. So shout out to Microsoft there.
Oh, did you just click on the main page of your Xbox?
Yeah, just the main page of the Xbox, and I was in, man. I was in watching it. It was good, man. The game was pretty legit, man, from beginning to end. I do have a gripe about halftime, though.
Yeah, what was going on at halftime? I thought the performance was great.
Well, if you was a live listener, you were good, man. But you watched on the Xbox, you didn't get to see the whole experience, man. Right before they hit the Crimea River, we got Chris Wu and
what?
DJ WizKid. Yeah, in the middle of the feed, man, just right outside Minnesota Stadium, man, and just I never heard of this cat, man. I thought it was like, I don't know, man. I thought I was like watching some K-pop show or something like that, man. Because it just straight through. And I was like, yo, what's going on, man? If it wasn't for him like saying, oh yeah, we're broadcasting live from the Super Bowl, then I probably would have thought that it was hacked or something, or the feed got hacked or something like that, man. So that was.
Jeez, no, I didn't.
Pretty crazy. I felt bad for the dude. Like seriously, like I wish I had that feed, man, because like you could tell they were stalling for time. They were interviewing this cat. They were like, "Yeah, man. So how's it feel about not interviewing, but being here at the Super Bowl?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm honored to be here. And I'll always be cooking that sauce for you." Like.
That's what they cut to?
Yes, bro. It's like a comedy act or something, man. Cooking that sauce. I'm like, what are they talking about? And then they were like, yeah, you're the first Chinese superstar to ever perform at the Super Bowl. Yo, this cat was in the parking lot. How is he performing at the Super Bowl? Cats in the parking lot, man.
Oh, yeah. Something's wrong with that. What do you think of the game overall?
The game was amazing, man. From beginning to end, like the first 10 minutes went by so quick, bro. And that trick pass, bro, that old man, what's his
Nick
name?
Foles
God,
caught, yeah,
Nick Foles, bro. I was just at the edge of my seat when I saw that. Like he just scooted over to the side, I was like, oh my god, what are they doing? They hacked the ball, and the dude's in the end zone, bro. I'm like, yo, Nick Foles for the touchdown. That's what's up.
Oh, easily. Yeah, I thought that was a great play. I actually missed that play live. I wish I would have saw it live. I missed it live. I went to do something. I think I had to put the baby down or whatever. Came back, and I was like, what? Philly scored. Let me go see this touchdown, rewind it. I thought the halftime show, though, was awesome. Shout out to JT. I thought it was awesome. It was just a good melody of all of his tracks. I didn't think he disrespected Prince in any way, shape, or form.
Great.
He did his thing, and he looks up to Prince.
Game.
But yeah, blouses. I stayed in. I stayed in on Sunday, as you know, and the listeners know, just to fill you in. Old Ben Goosen does not have a car. Even though if I went to go watch the game somewhere, I would have taken Uber. But old Ben Goosen still doesn't have a car. I might have to put up on the IG some pictures of the old foot. It's not doing too great. It's got some delayed bruising that I didn't feel in the moment of the car accident. A little adrenaline was pumping. Should have asked the dude who's going to catch these hands, all that other stuff. Y'all know the title of the show tonight. But the Super Bowl was great, man. I made food all day. I went and bought beer and a bunch of just food. And I told my wife and kids, yeah, there's going to be food out all day. We had cheese sticks and marinara locked up.
That's
taquitos locked up. Ribs locked up. Homemade salsa. This is I make an amazing homemade salsa locked up
with the Savoy.
I can't. No, yeah, it is. Yeah, yes. I can't tell you what I put in it.
Okay.
That's why I'm shy on it.
Secret sauce locked up.
Secret sauce locked up. The sauce so good, make you want to slap your mama. So, yo, I'm glad you got that one. What up, Pops? I'm glad you got that one. But yeah, I made food all day. Ribs, asada, man, and you name it. I made food all day. It was just a great day. The game was good. I was surprised the Eagles took it, especially when Tom Brady got the ball back with 2 minutes left. Yeah, a little over 2 minutes left. I thought, oh man, this dude's about to do it again until he fumbled. But no, it was a good day, good Sunday, and it tied into a good Monday. So I want to get to something. Did we cover last week? I don't remember. This is kind of inside/outside the ring stuff. Did we cover last week the new GM? Did we really get into the new GM of 205 Live?
Yeah, you said you didn't know who the hell he was.
I didn't. And so I took the week. I know that it came up like a day or two before our last podcast. I did some research. Still couldn't find out too much about this guy. He's got a hard accent, right?
He's got a real hard accent.
So this week, our tie into 205 Live, kind of crazy that we're starting off our show talking about 205 Live.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear who is officially in charge of 205 Live? Have you heard about that yet?
I've heard some rumors going around about it, but it's what we talked about last week. Like the show generally feels like there's been a changing of the guard. Like it feels like, and I think you and I did talk about that last week, that I literally legitimately think that Triple H has been given the keys to the kingdom for both SmackDown and for 205 Live.
And NXT still?
And NXT. Although I think that Steven Regal's probably has a little bit more of a creative role. I mean, because the dude's the one who runs that place as well, man. I mean, both him and Hunter together, it's pretty obvious. But yeah, man, it just feels the look and feel of both SmackDown and 205 Live in the last couple of weeks just seems it's a complete 180, and I absolutely, absolutely fantastically love it, man. I like these graphics, which we're going to talk about with the Rusev graphics coming on the screen. I'm enjoying that. It kind of gives me a throwback 80s feel. The cameras with the selfie cameras, they're starting to grow on me.
Yeah,
A
you didn't
bit.
like them last week. You didn't
Yeah,
like them when the mix. So
I didn't, but when we talk about, hopefully we'll get into some MMC, and yeah, they're starting to grow on me, man. They're starting to grow on me.
So when you say graphics, I assume you mean the nameplate graphics, right?
I mean, not just the name things, but just like when they announce something on during their promo, like, you know, when Aiden English was singing the New Day, or not the New Day, but Rusev Day, and he was holding that note, and Rusev's face was on Rusev Day. Did you see that?
No, I didn't watch SmackDown this week.
Bro, oh my god, it was like the best part, bro. Yo, Aiden English was singing Rusev Day, like when he's singing that hook, bro, and like it literally said Rusev Day on the bottom, but as he was holding the note, it has Bruce's face, and his face was like bouncing and toggling on the words, kind of like
the lyrics used to
Day, and he was like,
mm.
and it was pretty legit, bro. I'm enjoying that. It makes it a lot more entertaining.
Nice. So I haven't watched 205 in forever. My understanding is with Triple H running it, it'll probably feel and be a little bit more like the in-ring product. You'll have
like
CWC. Yeah, exactly, like the CWC, the Mae Young tournament, and like what NXT is. So if you watch an NXT takeover, nobody cuts promos at all. Granted, they have a lot of talent and a little bit of time to showcase that, but they don't do promos. It's you let your in-ring work do the talking. But so I think that's great, but if you get
what? Wait, whoa. This coming from the guy who denounced it and asked for them to bring storylines back. Now you're saying,
"Oh, I'm getting to there."
Okay,
I'm getting
fact check this, son.
I think this is great for one-offs. So the Mae Young Classic is great, but if I had the Mae Young Classic every week and no promos, I'd be like, could really use a promo here. Or it concerns me because if you go we've seen people that go from NXT to the main roster and just filter off. They don't do great. Because you have to have, like when me and you, remember when we did the Raw supplemental draft? My draft pick was very heavy on the entertainers versus the actual in-ring wrestling talent. So I still think that if you focus on, maybe if it's on the WWE Network, maybe it's okay if it's just pure quality in-ring talent, because you don't have, you're not cutting to commercial break. So you don't have advertisers you got to make happy and ratings that you got to hit and all that fancy stuff. It's subscribers, who's your wrestling fan base, that you have to make happy. So maybe you could focus more on the in-ring stuff. So do you think 205 Live and things like that should go to, we'll just say Monday Night Raw will never go that route. They can't. But do you think 205 Live and some of the NXT and stuff should just go straight wrestling route?
I mean, I enjoyed it both ways. I mean, when they first started out, it was just straight wrestling, and I absolutely loved it. I also liked seeing their personality as well. I didn't like the long drawn out, like once Enzo got there, I didn't like that whole long drawn out storyline, for probably the exception of Drew Gulak, which I thought that the payoff was going to be with them turning him.
Yeah, something.
He's just, I mean, that was entertaining. Like an investment in Drew Gulak, of all people. If you would have said to me at the beginning of the tournament that one of the most interesting characters that I was going to be getting into would be Drew Gulak, I would have just been like laughing straight up in your face, bro. But I just hope that they don't lose that focus. I do like the character development of it. just as long because it's a 1 hour show. We just need to make sure that we're not oversaturating ourselves with it. But with that being said, man, it sounds like you didn't see this week's episode of 205 Live. But what if I told you that we had 2 5-star matches, one of which included a new signee who got called up from 205, from NXT?
I heard Roderick Strong got called up.
That is correct.
But he's in the Undisputed Era.
No, he's not.
Am I thinking of somebody else?
You're thinking of
Bobby
Adam
Fish.
Cole, baby.
Adam Cole, baby. You're right. I'm thinking of Adam Fish. Man, I'm so used to calling him Red Dragon.
Yeah, the Bobby Fish and
Kyle
O'Reilly or Kyle.
See, that's the thing. His name's Kyle O'Reilly, but I always want to call him Kylo Ren. So, yeah, I'm thinking of the Undisputed Era. So, is it fair to say that Roderick Strong and probably Pete Dunne will be in 205 within the next month or two?
So I've got this working theory, man. I think, and this is just me, man. I think that they're going to WrestleMania is probably going to see a unification between the UK title and then the 205 Live title. It feels like they're trying to bring them both together with both tournament. They have a semi-tournament going on, like an unofficial tournament going on NXT with the UK title. We're starting to see more and more matches against the UK title holder there,
as well as the crew. As well as the 205, because the 205 championship will be crowned at WrestleMania. I see what you're saying.
And this is going to be the second time that we're going to see a UK roster person fighting in 205 Live. So I kind of feel like they're going to bring them together.
Pete Dunne's Pete Dunne is the UK champ, right?
Correct.
Man, so if you were to call it now at WrestleMania, 205 Live Cruiserweight Championship, do you think it would be Pete Dunne versus who?
I don't think it's going to be Pete Dunne. I think Roderick Strong is going to take the title off of him.
The UK title.
The UK title off of him. And I think that he's going to take that title off of him, and he's going to end up fighting. Even though he's in the 205 Live, I would have a sneaking suspicion that either he fights Cedric Alexander for the 205 or for the Cruiserweight title, and there's this rumor going around that maybe Neville will appear at WrestleMania to challenge either champ. So that
you never know.
Maybe Neville takes the UK title from Dunne, and then he fights the winner between Cedric Alexander and Roderick Strong.
I don't watch 205 Live, but I do really like that they are, because once WrestleMania comes, I'll get caught up for the most part. I really like that they announced a tournament a week or two ago, and they're ending it in April. That to me is awesome, because normally title gets vacated, Enzo's fired, and they're like, oh, cool. Well, in 2 weeks, we're going to have a title match or whatever. So, or they would have just went ahead and did it on Raw. So I like the long-term thing. That's really cool.
It keeps it interesting. And honestly, the GM is really good. Like, you really should see this week's episode, man. And it goes by quick. It's not that long. I think it's
30
like 40 minutes, 30, 40 minutes
and
long.
It's short now. So is the MMC, the Mixed Match Challenge, is that on the WWE Network after Facebook Live?
So they release, the way that they're doing it is the MMC comes in after SmackDown. There's like a buffer, and it's a buffer match basically between SmackDown and 205 Live. So once that's over, then 205 Live starts. Now they don't actually air the MMC on the network until a week after that tournament, or not that tournament, but that round is over. So right now, they're in week 4. So 4, 5, 6. So probably not until week 7 will we actually get to see them on the network.
And they have been entertaining matches. It's not like women are only with the women. You know, don't spoil it because I will watch it. I promise you, I'm gonna watch it.
Like the first 3 episodes are already up on the network, and they are. It's just fun, man. It literally is, and the best way I can describe it is it's a glorified house show match, and it's a lot of fun. It's what, in my opinion, it's what drew us to like SmackDown, Talking Smack, so we get to see the personalities of the characters, but in this case just inside the ring. And it's a lot of fun, man. I enjoyed it. This week we got to see Mandy Rose and Goldust versus Naomi and
Jay
and Jimmy.
Jimmy?
Naomi and Jimmy, yeah. And I'm not gonna, I won't spoil who won or lost it, but I will say, man, the first like 3 minutes of that match was just some comedy gold, man. It was so much fun, bro. Throwback.
All right, awesome. I gotta check it out. So let's get into Raw. I did watch Raw this week. I'm a bad wrestling fan. I didn't get a chance to catch up on SmackDown. Your boy Goose got a bum shin, bum ankle. He's out there searching for a car because he's carless. How could you be so carless? So I did watch Raw this week. DVR'd it. I think I caught it on Tuesday. And I got to say there was a couple things that I liked, a couple things that I didn't like. But I want to get straight into something that you text me on Monday night. May have even been Tuesday morning. Let's get straight into it, and we'll talk about Raw. You specifically said, and I'm trying to pull up the text now, you don't understand Roman Reigns' ring psychology. How many matches did Roman Reigns have? Remind me again on Monday night.
I believe he had 2 matches.
He did.
Yeah, one of them was cut from Hulu. But I understand that he had 2 matches.
So he had one with Bray, and then he was in the tag team match. So talk to me about that. Talk to me about Roman. What is your displeasure? What are you not seeing or not liking with Roman Reigns and his ring psychology?
The Bray match, and don't get me wrong, I'm not. When I said that, I wasn't saying it in terms of like I just can't stand this guy kind of thing. I know that a lot of people give him a lot of flack for a lot of stuff. But the match was a really, really good match between him and Bray. Like, it was amazing to the end. Towards the end of the match, he gives Bray Wyatt delivers a Sister Abigail to Roman Reigns. Naturally kicks out at 2 3/4. And Bray decides, he looks at him and is like, what do I got to do to put this guy down? What do I got to do to put this guy down? And then Bray goes into beast mode. He turns him onto his stomach and starts throwing bows straight to the back of his neck, just like bow. And then he goes to deliver a final Sister Abigail, and Roman Reigns looks completely fatigued, selling the beat down. But as soon as he goes to turn him over for the Sister Abigail, dude powers out of it like nothing happened at all. Goes for runs the ropes, hits him with one spear, and then it's over. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell did I just see? Like, this makes no sense whatsoever. That's his first match of the night. He's getting his ass beat and handed to him like on a silver platter. Like, by all accounts, Bray Wyatt is his equal. Like, this is his matchup. This is his equal. This is his doomsday to his Superman, like, literally. And he should be given that type of respect whenever they're in the ring, because that's how they're going to be built until they retire. They're always going to be 1 and 2. But don't sit there and take his, after a 15-minute match, you take his finisher and then you power out of it like it's nothing. Or when he goes to deliver another one after you just got beaten down, don't sit there and act like it didn't phase you at all. Like, it just, I don't understand the ring psychology behind it. It just, to
I
me,
agree.
it devalues Bray Wyatt. Like, his moves don't matter. Like, they are not strong. I don't get it. And it just bugged me.
I agree. So when you text me that, I hadn't watched the match. And I thought you were talking about something else. I didn't know what you were talking about because I hadn't watched Raw yet. And I watched it. And I'm going to be honest with you. Raw started off instantly with Bray Wyatt cutting a promo and Roman Reigns cutting a promo and coming out and having a match. And maybe it was a good match. But the whole time, I just couldn't stop thinking. Like, once the match started, I was like, and I was watching this on Tuesday, so it was on DVR. I thought, man, there's no point in me watching this because no matter what, Bray's going to lose. If this comes down to a pinfall, Bray's obviously going to lose. He loses every big match he has. And when he hit Sister Abigail, I didn't get out of my chair. I didn't even mark out when he hit it because I was like, oh, it's okay. Reigns will kick out. Don't worry about it. And he did. And within 30 seconds later, he hit the spear and won. So I have to say, I'm pulling for Reigns because I like what he's got going on. Even though last year at the Royal Rumble, I thought it was BS that, you know, they were pushing him to be number 30 in the Rumble, all that good stuff. And I've said before on the podcast that he's improved in the ring. So he himself has improved in the ring, but his booking, whenever he has a match, I just know, all right, he's going to win this one. Doesn't matter. Or he's not taking the pin. It's rare that he does take the pin. So I kind of, okay, would you agree? Because you said his ring psychology. Yes. Would you say it's the ring psychology or the way they book him? Because you and I have said on the podcast before, he's getting better in the ring. And he's had close matches, and he sells great for Braun. But he could sell. Can we agree Roman Reigns can sell? I'm not saying he's a 10, but he's a 5 at minimum. Would you agree? He's average. He's not terrible. He's not bad, but he's average or better at selling. Would you agree with that?
Oh man. I don't like the way he sells, man. I mean,
okay, who's the worst? Who's the worst all time? Who are your worst people besides Scott Steiner? Who can't sell?
Yeah, Scott Steiner can't sell, bro. He's only got a 33 and a third of a chance. The worst seller, I mean, I'd have to say Goldberg be up there.
Yeah, I'd say Goldberg. Goldberg's way up there.
Yeah,
that was going to be my number 1 pick.
Yeah, I think Goldberg would probably be the old Goldberg or the
WCW.
younger Goldberg. Yeah, not so much now. He actually sells pretty well now, but
yeah, he couldn't sell for shit back in the day. So Goldberg and Steiner.
Yeah, Goldberg, Steiner.
So is it Roman Reigns booking that bothers you, or is it his true in-ring? Because he's had great matches, but it's when last year he had to sell the hell out of things for Braun. Oh, okay, wait. So let me ask you 2 questions. Is it his booking that you hate versus his ring psychology, or is it when he doesn't have a strong opponent, his matches aren't great? So, for example, John Cena or AJ Styles. So 2 questions. Is it his booking or the psychology? And the second question being, does he need a strong opponent to make him look that much better?
I don't think it's the booking. I think I'm okay with the booking just because it is what it is. You know, they're going to push this guy to the moon, and I get it. You know, that's their future. That's who they're banking on. And I get it. I mean, there's no reason to complain about the way that he's booked because that's the direction the company wants to go. The issue that I have is that Um, he doesn't sell very well on like Hogan. Like I guess Hogan's probably the one that I would compare him to, right? So, love him or hate him, you know, Hogan
Hogan
couldn't
got you
sell.
pumped.
He couldn't, yeah, he couldn't sell worth crap until he powered up. But his power up was more of like I'm getting my butt kicked, but now I've got a surge of adrenaline, even though the guy's still beating up on me. But I've got this surge of adrenaline going right now, and now I'm trying to turn it around. Like it's a progression. It's not like you hit me and then all of a sudden I'm clotheslining you and hitting you with the leg drop and it's over. It's more
Correct.
of you're hitting me, I'm just taking it, I'm gritting my teeth, I'm taking it, and I'm persevering, I'm pushing through adversity, and now I'm coming back to kick your butt. You don't get that feeling with Roman. It's like pow, I'm getting beat, pow, I'm getting beat. Oh, I'm just gonna deck you, and now all of a sudden I'm at 110% life. I just I I seriously just don't like his ring psychology. It doesn't make any sense. Someone's working his leg and he's holding his shoulder the entire match. What the hell?
Yeah. He's not bad in the
I
ring,
don't
right?
like it. No, I mean he's not terrible in the ring, and I know
He's
I'm
not
sounding
below average.
hitting on the guy. I'm not trying to, I respect his in-ring work, and I think he's great when he's not the leader of the match. And maybe that's what it is, man. Like when he's just not there in terms of being able to lead a match. Yes, he puts on good matches, but a lot of that credit goes to the person who he's in the ring with, right? AJ
Yeah,
Styles
so you're saying
is
it's not
great.
his fault by any means. It's not. He's
He's
not
just gonna have
bad.
to grow. Yeah, he's gonna have to just, as long as he keeps working at it, I think I'll end eventually be okay. Um, I just it just
You know what?
bothers me.
It's gonna take time. So if you would have talked to 2005, 2006 Ben Goosen, and I think 2005 Sage the Mark, we would have said the same about John Cena. The 5 moves of doom, John Cena,
Yeah.
the guy who just literally would go up, get beat out, hit the 5 moves of doom, and you're like, but now, you're asking us 10 years later, and we're saying, hey, I watched John Cena matches because I truly don't know who's going to win at this point. And he has more moves than the 5 moves of doom. Even if he doesn't have more moves than the 5 moves of doom, he knows when to put on the 5 moves of doom. And he knows how to sell the, hey, you know what? I might get beat this weekend. This guy that I'm fighting is the greatest of all time, blah, blah, blah. And John Cena, every match he has nowadays is amazing. And part of it's because you truly don't know. Look at the main event on Raw. You truly don't know. Because he's giving so much back to the business, which I love, by the way. You truly don't know who's going to win or not. So I think Roman's like the early stage John Cena, where they're just pushing him to the moon. You think, oh, he's Super Cena, blah, blah, blah.
Just gonna enjoy the ride.
And don't get me wrong, we could say this about Roman, about, you're not selling the Hulk up. But if I was Roman Reigns, this is just me. I don't know what the hell he's thinking. If I was Roman Reigns and my boss said, hey, man, don't worry about selling that Hulk up stuff. By the way, the check clears on the 1st and 15th of $500,000 or whatever. I'd be like, man, I ain't selling shit. I ain't selling no Hulk ups if y'all don't want me to. Because he's the biggest name in wrestling right now when we're talking about him. So
what you're saying is he just needs to keep cashing them checks like he's jaw rolling those B+ movies or those B- movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's murder.
So rest of Raw, and then we'll move on. 2 things that struck me. 2 things. Number one, Alexa Bliss did fantastic on the mic.
Oh man, she was wonderful. Oh my
This
gosh, she was
week,
wonderful.
when she went off and she twisted it and said, "Oh no, that's cool," especially with the Me Too movement going on. But she twisted it and said, "Oh, it's because of the women thing. It's because of the women this. You think we're inferior, inferior." And Kurt Angle pushing back saying, "Hold up, hold up, hold up. You haven't defended your title since October." That was just great. And it was a quick segment. I thought Alexa Bliss went off and did great on the mic. I think she's the best female wrestler on the mic. Charlotte has a slow cadence like, "Sage, you are not a Flair, so you won't beat me this week." Whereas Alexa is quick and witty, like, "No, you're right. You're right. I won't beat you this week, Sage, because I'm the champ. I don't have to beat you first and foremost. You've got to come to beat me." And like, she's just quick and witty and bouncy. And quick side note, other part of Raw that really, really, really I'm not feeling. Why is the Revival losing to a fake tag team? They're the club, yeah, but they're not the tag team of the club. And then that gets me into, I'll get into the club in a second. Thoughts on the Revival? What the hell? Why are they losing to Finn Balor and Anderson? Because I don't know where they're going with this. Are they pushing Anderson and Gallows? Maybe, maybe not. They're not really pushing the club. So why would the Revival, who is being pushed as like a real no kicks, no flips, just fist tag team, why would they lose? What was the point of that?
First off, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I haven't seen the Revival since Raw 25, so
and they lost on that.
Yeah, so I haven't seen them at all, so I don't know what you're talking about there, man. Second, let's be real. Alexa is the second best wrestler, entertainer, sports entertainer on the mic. Period.
Best female. No, best female.
No.
Who's better?
She is the best, the second best on the mic, period, in the entire company, bruh. Paul Heyman's number one. She's number two.
Whoa. Are you crapping on our IRWP awards for the two-time winner of the Mic Skills of the Year, The Miz? Are you putting Paul Heyman above The Miz?
I am putting Paul Heyman above The Miz just because he's active. So, and it's here's my theory. This is the reason why I say Paul Heyman is the GOAT, bruh. If we take him out,
not on the mic.
He is. When he's hyping up a match, like the promo guy, like he is. Like if I was being real, if we were just talking about like day to day, if we're not promoting go home shows, then yes, the Miz would definitely have it over Paul Heyman. But we saw both of them together, man, and cutting a promo on each other in the same ring, and Paul Heyman had it slightly over the Miz. But with that being said, man, I think had they not put the gag on Alexa for so long, that we would have definitely seen how much we undervalue her mic work skills. This is the first time we've actually heard Alexa speak on the mic since October when she defended her title. I don't know if anyone's really noticed that or not. For the exception of the backstage segment, she's not on the mic cutting promos anymore. And I think that they're worried about her having the ability to overshadow or not unintentionally bury other talent. Yeah, by getting over on the mic. She is purely the best. Between her and the Miz, you can probably interchangeably switch them 1 and 2, but she is arguably she's arguably number one on the mic in terms of the mic skills, man. She's witty, she's quick on the like you said, she's witty, she's quick to think something up when the crowd starts to interject and try to take over the show. She has the ability to switch it out on them, which you can't say many people
she cut
can
off
do
a
that.
what chant not long ago.
Yeah, which I don't see very many people being able to do that, Austin included. So I mean, Alexa Bliss commands our respect, and I give it to her wholly because she is really that great. Oh, real quick, Goose. I don't remember what your other point was because again, the revival wasn't on my TV show this week.
Yeah, you missed anything with the revival. I don't know why they're being chopped. Next point.
On the 2 weeks ago, the Women's Royal Rumble, what was your main takeaway from there?
I enjoyed the Women's Rumble, and I enjoyed the fact that they got to throw each other over the top rope.
Yeah, but what was your number one takeaway from it?
Trish Stratus is a badass. By 4.
You damn lie, bro. Oh man, you know exactly where I was going with it. Look here, man. Look here, man. Don't matter what you say, man. It really doesn't. Ronda Rousey, or the parents of Ronda Rousey at the Royal Rumble has messed up the women's division in terms of overshadowing
I've thought about it specifically, and I'm sorry to cut you off. I've thought about it over the past week since we talked about it last week on the show. And I still stand by my statement because it's Asuka that it doesn't. And
how can you say
more so because it's business. That was a business play. But because Ronda Rousey is good for business, but it would have been nicer for Asuka to say, I'm going to fight Charlotte or something at WrestleMania, and Ronda Rousey to debut on Raw. Because I truly think more people, especially if WWE soft leaked Ronda Rousey to appear on Raw tonight, it would have been nicer for her to appear on Raw. More people watch Raw.
I think it would have been better for business as well, man. You already had eyes on people watching the Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble, which I still stand by saying that was probably one of the best Royal Rumbles in the last 5 or 6 years.
It was. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, women's match was awesome as well. I literally legitimately have a problem with Ronda Rousey showing up at the very end of it. I think it was just disrespectful. I get that it was a business decision, but I think that from a business aspect of it, since you already had eyes on the Royal Rumble with the rumors that maybe Ronda was going to be there, I think it would have been better if she showed up that following Monday. I think it would have been done better for the ratings. But with that being said, I digress. I think they're trying to make it up to Asuka. I literally legitimately do. They've given her 2 back-to-back matches that are per pay-per-view worthy between her and Bayley, as well as her and Sasha Banks. They've given it time. It wasn't anything that was being rushed. I think this is their way of giving it back to her.
I agree. I think that it is a nice way to give it back to her. I mean, I think that she's going to be the one that ends up fighting Alexa Bliss.
I don't.
You think she's going to fight Charlotte and Ronda Rousey's going to fight Alexa Bliss?
Yeah, because think of it from this perspective, man. They gave Nia Jax a stipulation in there saying that if she beats Asuka next week, that she will be added. Her match would become a triple threat match. The problem with that is that Asuka hasn't declared who she was going to fight. So if she decided to go to SmackDown Nia's not going to SmackDown. They're not going to pull Nia to SmackDown to do it at all. So I think Nia's going to end up getting screwed. Yeah,
I think she'll get the championship and lose to Rousey at Mania.
Well, Rousey's not going to be around the championship at all for Mania at all.
You think she'll be in a mixed tag match?
I think she'll be in a mixed tag match. I still stand by what I said last week that I think that the winner of the mixed match challenge is going to ultimately fight her and whoever.
It'd be The Rock, no doubt.
Yeah, if they can get it, they're still having a hard time from what I heard.
Dude's got we talked about the Super Bowl earlier. Did you not see The Rock in the greatest movie of all time?
Skyscraper?
Man, I'll tell you.
The Rock Skyscraper, or are you talking about Jumanji?
Skyscraper. It was
Skyscraper.
Somebody threw a script in. I don't know what this movie is about. Somebody threw a script in front of The Rock and said, "Hey, I got a story about this really tall ass building. And guess what? You get to jump out of a window."
It spells action movies, 80s all over
it. The budget, by the way, if you've seen Die Hard 1, it's not the exact same movie, but the budget's $200 million. You down? Yeah, sure, I'm down. And guess what? Because it's The Rock. It's, and then I want to say, I'm going to be straight up honest here. That Skyscraper movie, I want to say comes out in like May, June, July, and then Rampage comes out in May.
Dude, I just saw the preview to that. I'm like, what the hell? They're making a Rampage movie?
Yeah, same here. Today I was looking up The Rock and I was like, let me see what this guy's doing, because he's to me, I was like, oh, Jumanji just came out 3-4 weeks ago, and that movie made $1 billion, and I thought, all right, well, that's cool. The Rock ain't gonna be in a movie for a while. Oh, Skyscraper, that's right, that comes out this summer. All right. Well, obviously, he just had a movie come out in December, and then 6 months later, well, he obviously doesn't have a... No, he has Rampage coming out, which looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
If you remember the old video game.
Oh, yeah.
The Rock is the king of big budget. He's today's Schwarzenegger / Stallone, just on a bigger level. Or, a more... There's more money floating around, so he's getting the paycheck.
Do a / Bruce Willis as well, bro, because, I understand.
For sure,
hero, bro. But you
Rub Up Baby, Bubby Bumpers,
Sylvester or Stallone and what's his name without Willis. So
Yeah, I agree. So we haven't gotten into SmackDown yet. So I didn't watch SmackDown this week. I kind of know the gist of it. I heard there was a mailman that delivered a package. There was a mailman that delivered a package, and on that package, it was gifted. There was 3 packages, from what I heard, and that mailman put a Post-it note on there that said, "Please deliver this RKO package to these 3 separate people that came out of nowhere. Nobody expected it." So I heard Randy Orton got into the U.S. title mix. Is that right?
Dude, I don't understand what they're doing with this guy, because like 3 weeks ago he delivered an RKO to Nakamura, and then this week he RKOs Bobby Roode, Rusev, and Aiden English after the match is over. So I legitimately don't understand what they're doing with him, because he's not really involved in any storylines whatsoever. He's just RKOing people for kicks. I mean, it makes for a good GIF. I'll tell you that. But as far as the story is concerned, there's really no story around it. I think the bigger story is Corey Graves catching these hands from Booker T.
Wait, we'll get into that. Whoa, no, we're gonna end the show. We're ending the show. We gotta end the show. We're gonna end the show. We're gonna end the show with that. I planned on fully. Daniel Bryan announced his top 10. There was some turmoil. The Usos and the Bludgeon Brothers are gonna fight, obviously, at some point.
Dude, I'm loving that. Bro, I'm loving that.
I hope it, so. I hope that match is led by Rowan, like really kind of, because we've said he can
Harper?
go in the ring. Or
Harper.
Harper, excuse me, Luke Harper, because we know he can go in the ring, and with how the division is cleared out, it's unfortunate, but the Bludgeon Brothers might be the ones that take the tag team titles away. But we've also said that about a bunch of other tag teams.
How about this slow build, bro? I'm loving it, man. I'm loving just
Hopefully, it ends at WrestleMania. It's a slow build that ends at WrestleMania. I
yeah.
hope.
I think that would be legit, bro. I think that people are starting to come around to the Bludgeon Brothers, and I'm enjoying it, man. I absolutely love the name of their move, the Purge.
Yeah.
It's either the Purge or the Reckoning, and dude, I'm all for that, bro. I'm all for
So
that.
we're kind of pressed on time. We're not pressed on time. You know why we're not
Yeah,
pressed on time? We're going to do whatever the hell they want,
yeah,
how
we're
we
in the
want.
50
But
minute mark, bro. We're good.
so Daniel Bryan's top 10 list. I dig it. I like that we have a top 10 list, and your boy was number 10, 10, 10, 10. Ty Dillinger was ranked at number 10.
Man, what are they doing to my boy?
I didn't like that the women were also included in the top 10 list, because I thought the top 10 list was going to be.
What?
Hold on, hear me out.
Come on, man.
No. I thought they were going to have
this crap, bro. Like,
no. I thought they were going to have a women's top 10. So there's
nah,
something that
man.
you complain about all the time, and it's the UFC top 10 and how corrupt it is. How you'll have
Bro,
the
we
number
just had
9
this conversation about
getting
the
a title shot.
PWI's top 100.
No. Hear me out. So I know you hate the UFC rankings because the number 9 guy is fighting the number 3 guy next week, and it's so mismatched. But I liked on SmackDown how they were going to institute a top 10, which we heard about before they even instituted the top 10, and I thought, you know what, that'll be cool because it'll prevent the Jinder Mahals, even though I liked it and I was a fan of stuff, but it gives you transparency. It gives you the, you know what, man, Jinder, like, okay, we'll go back to the Jinder Mahal winning the title thing and getting the title shot. It came out of nowhere, right? So it gives you the, man, Jinder Mahal's ranked number 9. He's fighting a number 3 ranked guy this week. He's probably going to lose, but hey, it's okay. Oh, wait, he beat him? Whoa. Well, he's got to go from 9 to 6. Maybe he goes from 9 to 3. Maybe he goes 9 to 2. So it's fake, yes, wrestling. I mean, but it's a ranking system so you know who gets a title shot. And I'm not hating on the women for being included in the top 10, but I wanted to see a separate thing for the women to say, like right now, I don't know how Naomi was just the champion. I don't know how close she is at getting another title shot. So if you have a ranking system, it gives you the feeling on SmackDown of, whoa, this was a major upset. You know, for in the ultimate top 10 of all wrestlers, you know, Ty Dillinger's number 10, and I'm making this up, but Shinsuke Nakamura's he actually is, I think, number 2 or 3.
Yeah, number 3.
Whoa, wait a minute. Ty Dillinger just beat Nakamura, so wait a minute. So should Ty Dillinger be 5 and Shinsuke be 6? Like, it creates, I liked that it creates that UFC feel, like it creates more of an upset atmosphere. Okay, because right now, if Ty Dillinger next week was fighting Shinsuke Nakamura, we both know, okay, well, Nakamura, as good as the match it may be, Nakamura might win. But it's a little tiny added value if you throw the, well, this guy's ranked number 10, this guy's ranked number 3. If 10 upsets a 3, man, that's big. It rarely happens, just like in NCAA football and UFC, all that stuff. So I thought it was just a cute, gimmicky thing to add. I'm not putting too much emphasis into it. The reason I didn't like the women added in the top 10 is because I wish the women had their own separate top 10.
I get where you're coming from, man. I guess the biggest gripe that I have about the top 10 list is that there's no heels on it whatsoever.
No, not at all.
I don't understand. And I mean, if anything, Rusev should probably be like in the 5 or 4 slot, and yet he's not even anywhere on the list whatsoever. So that's kind of, I don't know. If they take it seriously, I'd be all right with it, man. But if it's just a way to pass for time, I'd rather just scrap it, man. You know how I am about the ranking systems, man. If you're gonna use it the right way. If not, then it is what it is, man. So
Yeah, I agree. But what else happened on SmackDown? Did I miss anything else?
so we're gonna have a triple threat match for the WWE title at
Ugh.
Fastlane.
Well, and from what Shane McMahon tweeted out today, we record this on Thursdays. The winner of Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin's being added.
Yes, I mean that actually just came kind of out of nowhere as well. So which I don't, I don't know, man. That match between Bobby Roode and Rusev was so good, man. It was, yeah, God, it was so good. You legitimately thought Rusev was going to go over in that match, and that was pretty awesome, man. God, man, I wish they would do something. Like Rusev needs a title, bruh. This
I
dude
agree.
struggled enough, man. He's the most over guy on the entire roster aside from AJ Styles. I mean, this guy's so over that on Raw they were chanting Rusev Day during segments. And Rusev's not even anywhere in the building, bruh. I mean, that's how over this dude is. And it's just sad that we don't get to see. I don't know, man. I've been waiting for a face Rusev for the longest of times, man. And I feel like now is the time to pull the trigger, get this dude a title, let him run. But it just
And
doesn't
let him
seem
go
to
with it.
be
Yeah.
happening. Yeah, just let him
And the
go.
fans are behind him. So, was there anything else on SmackDown we should touch on before we get into Corey Graves, Booker T stuff?
Um, I thought there was something, man. Yo, that New Day's sick, bro. Like, I guess we'll get into that right now because the way they jabbed at Corey Graves all night, bro, was just like flipping amazing, man. But
So,
nothing for SmackDown. SmackDown's a pretty good show, bro. Looking forward to Fastlane coming up.
so Booker T is pretty much all but said on his show, which you can catch. It's actually a pretty good show. That if he catches Corey Graves, Corey Graves is going to catch a good fade easily.
Oh,
And I'll be honest, I don't know much about
yeah,
podcasts. Or excuse me, I don't know much about podcasts. Well, I don't know much about podcasts, but I don't know much about fighting. But I will say, if you told me, hey, there's a 40-something-year-old Booker T that's about to get in a fist fight with a 20, 30-something-year-old Corey Graves, who you got your money on? I would give you a lot of money and say Booker T's got this. Do you think this is a work? Is this a work?
it's got to be, bro. I mean, it's a good work, and it's one I'm interested in, man. I'm marking all over it. And
We're talking about it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cause let's be frank, man. Booker T threatened Corey Graves on his podcast. Like he just came out and said that he would beat him if he saw him in the streets. If it was real, I mean, if it was real, I'm pretty sure Corey
He'd be
Graves
fired.
would
Yeah. Well, Booker T would be fired for
Booker
sure.
would be fired, and yeah, exactly. So I think it's just they're just gonna capitalize on the heat. But I like it, man. Oh man, and I love the New Day saying that they give Corey Graves a 6% chance, bro. We're coming in at number 6. That's the percentage of chance that I give Corey Graves landing a right hook. Or I loved it, bro.
Oh wow, they said that this week?
Yeah, man. So SmackDown was great, man. It was freaking legit, bro. When the New Day was behind the scenes, bro, and they were just the whole entire time that they kept cutting back to him, they were just cutting on Corey Graves, bro. You gotta see it, man. It's gold, man. It's straight.
So you think this is a work?
I do think it's a work. I mean, the mark in me wants to believe that it's a shoot, but it's definitely
so.
At
What's
least
the
that
work
aspect
about it? Because
of it.
what's the work about it? Because they're not going to have a match, obviously.
No, but
does it create the heel face commentary?
Yes.
Like back the Bobby the Brain Heenan Gorilla Monsoon commentary. Is that what we're going towards?
I think so, man. And it's gonna make you want to tune in on the pre-show to see what Booker T says and if he says anything about Corey Graves.
I guess at the end of the day, as long as me and you were talking about it.
Yeah,
so it's working.
and that's exactly what it is, and it's good for his ratings too. As a podcaster, we're gonna, probably chime in to see if he's gonna say anything else about Corey Graves. So I guess for all people involved, it's good for him, man. Do I believe that there was actually some hurt feelings? Yeah, maybe. Anytime that someone's job is, affected, you're gonna have some type of way. Whether or not I think that Corey Graves was responsible for it is a whole entire different thing. I think that with Ronda Rousey coming in, and I think this is exactly what I think. I think that Ronda Rousey came in, they needed a commentator who closely followed her accolades, who can talk up and pump her up on the fly, and you got that with Jonathan Coachman. It's not something I think that Corey Graves was responsible for. Just you need someone who's competent on the God, that sounded wrong. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm 6'4" and like 280 pounds, so I ain't afraid of Booker T, but I ain't trying to catch.
For the record, if you and Booker T fought, I love you. Yeah, I really do. I really, 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 really appreciate everything you do, but if I had to put my own money on it, you better bring that Stevie Ray flapjack.
Yeah. He ain't that big. He ain't big. He's not as big enough. We about the same size, man. We about the same size.
I agree.
So I think I got him. I got him in the years, man. I might be a little quicker. Nah, Book, I know you like 100 miles away from me, brother. We ain't trying to catch no hands, man.
Yeah, no joke. So yeah, I hope it's a work. I think it's a great thing. I think that those two kind of taking jabs at each other, I think, is an awesome thing, and they're ultimate professionals at the end of the day. So outside of the ring, inside the ring, was there anything else this week that we missed?
No, not so much. There's speculation that Gargano is getting the call up. He's got.
He can't. No. Let's take that. Any speculation about Gargano is fighting Ciampa at NXT Takeover WrestleMania weekend. Then those guys.
I don't think so, man. He's got a title shot with Cien Almas.
Who?
Johnny Gargano, man. He's got a match with Johnny Gargano. With basically, if he loses the match,
an upcoming NXT thing or something.
That was the one that was just recorded yesterday, man.
Oh, all right.
Or not recorded, aired yesterday, I should say.
So I haven't watched NXT in a while.
Gotcha.
And I know they get taped like a month or two in advance, and I don't really read spoilers or whatever. But it's safe to say Gargano versus Ciampa will be at WrestleMania weekend takeover.
But I don't so you're saying that Cien Almas is going to drop the title to Gargano?
No, they'll
figure he's going to win by disqualification.
Yeah, they'll figure out some squirmy thing. And I think if you had to ask me, based off how things are going, so obviously there's going to be an NXT takeover in New Orleans the week of WrestleMania, the weekend. I would think, and I know NXT tapes months in advance, so you can go find this out, I'm sure. But I would have thought it would have been Aleister Black versus Cien Almas at the takeover, just because Aleister Black's coming off of the NXT award for newcomer or up-and-comer of the year or whatever. And Sienna, same thing with Cien Almas, most improved of the year, whatever. But those two could put on a hell of a show for TakeOver. So that's kind of the way I thought about it. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I just thought Andrade Cien Almas versus Aleister Black was going to happen. And then Gargano versus Ciampa. And then
I think Aleister Black will win the title off of Michael or Adam Cole.
Yeah, he might fight Adam Cole.
Yeah, I don't think
because as soon as I guarantee Undisputed Era is going to be on.
Yeah, they're the next in line, bro.
Oh God,
I mean,
them and
next in line,
AOP
man.
are gonna get. I wouldn't be surprised the night after Raw if the Undisputed Era debuts on Raw. I wouldn't
So
be surprised
soon?
at all.
So soon?
But the Raw after Mania, that's the like craziest Raw ever.
Yeah, but they just got there in NXT, man. Ain't no way they're gonna call them up that soon, man.
I don't think they have much to learn, do they? I'm not saying they're going to be
There's
huge
gonna be a
stars on the main
hole in the
roster.
tag team division if you call them up, man. I wouldn't do that, man. Who I want
I
to see get
agree.
called up though is Bianca Belair. She
Oh
she
yeah.
definitely needs to be on the rise. And it looks like they're gonna I my money would be on her, man. Like seriously, I think that they're gonna call her up this year.
So I got to put you on the spot. This is bad because I'm going to put you on the spot right now, and we're friends for the pod. Ben Goosen and Sage Mark are close friends. And we're close friends outside the podcast. We're not going to WrestleMania this year. Do you think there's any way we can convince other parties, aka wife and kids, so maybe we can't go? Maybe we'll go to WrestleMania for a weekend. But what if we went to? I just want to go to Raw after Mania. What if we left for New Orleans? Monday morning, 6 a.m. Came back Tuesday morning because there's no flights after Raw's done. Hotel for a night, and what we do in New Orleans stays on Bourbon Street.
Yep, and it's with that comment right there that I will not be going to.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, join me next week when your boy Ben Goosen talks about his upcoming divorce and how his wife is going to be. His wife is him and his wife are divorcing on Monday Night Raw next week. I would do anything to go to a Raw after Mania. We got to figure something out.
Yeah, I definitely
maybe
agree,
that's the trick. You got to invite the wife and kids, and then just pull the. Oh, sorry, my bad. I drank too much to. That's why I'll go back to the hotel and go to bed, or I don't know what the case may be. One day.
Yeah, one day we'll do the Raw after Mania.
That's my goal.
Yeah, I definitely want to do a WrestleMania, man. At least I want to do one in my lifetime.
You haven't done a WrestleMania yet?
No, man. I mean, this is my first. The Royal Rumble was my first pay-per-view.
Really? We have a podcast. So I've been to 3 Manias, or 3 WrestleManias.
Yeah, I know. I was supposed to go to Dallas. Remember?
Yeah. Well, it was all right. What really killed us was the Wi-Fi issue outside. But yeah. I've been to Houston, and I gotta admit, WrestleManias are fun to say I've been, but they're. If I had a choice nowadays between going to WrestleMania or watching it at home with my boys, I'd pick watching it at home with my boys in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just they're not bad, but I mean the ones I went to weren't great. So let's wrap it up. Yep. We have some good shout outs today. We've had a lot of activity. You've had a lot of activity.
We've had a lot of activity. There's no I in I. Well, there is an I in IRWP, but
yeah, there is, and there's an I in Cloverfield Paradox, which I heard flopped to shit. Cloverfield Paradox on Netflix.
It did fly. I did watch it, and
did you really?
Yeah, I will say this, man. The previews got me, bruh. It got me for 2 reasons. So, and Netflix is wrong for doing this, bruh. Like they promoted it.
Yep. The hype machine is real.
Yeah, the hit machine was real. They promoted it at the Super Bowl as if it was a blockbuster movie that was going to be released in the movie theaters, but then said, "Hey, it's available on Netflix right now." So that one got my first intrigue, but they sealed the deal when they used the lady from Black Mirror.
Yep.
One of the best episodes of Black Mirror, San Junipero, and that hooked me, bruh. And I went in and I watched it, and it wasn't as great as I thought it would be, which is okay. But I will say that the saving grace is Alter Carbon was also dropped on that same day, and it's actually pretty legit.
Is that on
once
Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix, and that's
Yeah, I heard that's a great show.
yeah, it's a pretty legit show, man. So
So I've
I
heard
will.
Cloverfield is a cool idea, but poor execution. A really cool idea to. So you know the background on the Cloverfield universe, right? It's
I
you've
mean,
seen
I
you've
saw the
seen
first two movies. The first one was the best by far, but
Oh yeah.
forgot what
So
the guy's name was, man. But the dude, was it Steve or something like that? The
yeah,
dude who gets murked at the end. You just, bro, I felt so
the
bad for
cameraman.
him, man.
So the J.J. Abrams made it, and the way it works now, my understanding is and you're not gonna like this at all. He takes low budget indie sci-fi movies or just scripts that he likes. He buys them and then says, "Okay, go back and reshoot like the final 5-10 minutes," and then there you go. It's Cloverfield. So this movie that just came out, the Cloverfield Paradox, was a space science time frame continuum sci-fi movie that didn't get picked up. And he came in and said, and this is no spoiler, I'm trying not to spoil this, but he came in and said, okay, we'll make this happen in the movie. Go reshoot with the actors for about 10 minutes. And Clover or Cloverfield or something in the name. So that's the whole premises behind it.
Are you serious?
Yep. You know what the next movie in the Cloverfield universe is? It's a World War II movie, Sage Mark.
Oh man.
Yep. So does that change your opinion? Does that change your opinion on the Cloverfield?
Hey man, homies getting that money, bro.
Was amazing. The second movie, I could see. I was like, man, this is totally cool. The second movie with John Goodman where they're locked up in that like basement thing. I thought, man, this is a really good movie because if the world ended and you wanted to save somebody, you'd be telling them like, yo, your ass needs to stay here. No, don't unlock that. Like this is a twisted movie set that just happens to be with aliens outside. And then this third movie, it's about different stuff. I don't want to spoil it for the listeners. It's about different things. And yeah, once I realized and found out that it was its own movie that had nothing to do with Cloverfield or where monsters came from, I was like, oh, well, this sounds good in the mind, the theory, but
that's good to know. So that way I don't have to spend any money. Well, I mean, it's not like I spent money on this one here either, but I guess that puts things into perspective. I don't know. I guess it could work, man. I mean,
let me ask you one quick thing. I saw in the preview, and I've heard from a former guest on the podcast named Z-Man that me and you know.
What up, Z-Man?
In the preview, it shows an arm getting severed and walking off. So Z-Man comes in and says, hey, man, I watched Cloverfield Paradox. And I said, oh, cool. So what's the explanation behind that arm crawling off? And he was like, nothing. They cut to the next scene.
Yep.
You should go watch it. It's a great movie. I'm like, wait, what? He said, yep. Just go see it. But we're digressing. This is a wrestling podcast and we're fucking around talking about Cloverfield. Hey, everybody, we just want to let you know we really appreciate you listening. Or do we have some shout outs this week? We had a busy
week. We'll put them in I'll put them in the show notes or something like that, man. We appreciate everybody continuing to support us, man, and make sure y'all get the word out. Hit that retweet button, that comments button. So a little bit of shocker, man. We got, I was talking to you early in the week that we got an uptake in viewership on YouTube, and you commented, yeah, we got, like 10, 20 people, saw the videos. Yeah. Did you see the stats on the CWC? Because I saw them, and we like at 150 views, 157 views on many of those episodes, man. So we doing something. We're getting some recognition, and we appreciate everyone that continues to watch our stuff, and just give us some feedback. irwp.feedback@gmail.com, or give us a call 419-777-IRWP, and let us know what you guys like, what you don't like. Yeah, can't get better as a community unless we work together. Nah, I mean,
yo, totally agree. Hey, everybody, we really appreciate you guys listening. We had a great show today. A lot going on. Always make sure to hit us up at irwp.us. Any chance you get, hit us up on Twitter. It's not hard to find. Literally, you can go type in IRWP on Twitter. It's Real Wrestling Podcast, and you'll find us. We're pretty active on Twitter. We'll always hit you up. Again, it's the IRWP. It's Real Wrestling Podcast. And at the end of the day, don't keep it gangster. Keep it real.
Black History Month. Thank you, Wayne's family. We love you.
Hey, everybody. What is going on? It's your boys, Ben Gleason and Save Some Art. We just want to tell you guys to have a good one. Enjoy Black History Month. Enjoy each and every month. And just enjoy life in general. Hey, the thoughts and opinions expressed are that of the IRWP and not of each individual contributor. Go ahead and visit us on irwp.us. You'll find the links on where to find us on Twitter. Hit us up. We're always checking the DMs. We're always checking the email. And we will respond. But in the meantime, if you don't check us out, just keep it real.